What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. We are here with another Nerd Talk episode, and we're going to jump right into it. Just the other week, I believe this was probably actually just this past Saturday and Sunday, July 5th, July 6th. Let me go ahead and just pull it up. An account on Twitter, Star Wars Holocron. Um, who usually obviously posts Star Wars related content and that kind of thing. At this point, I believe other outlets have also came out with this, but they announced that 4 directors from Ahsoka season 2 have been revealed. We've got Dave Filoni, obviously no surprise there. Bryce Dallas Howard, again, no surprise there. I believe Bryce Dallas Howard has had a hand in creating an episode. I think in pretty much almost every Star Wars live action project that has come out to this point. Jennifer Gitzinger and what's that? Anders Egenstrom, if I said that name correctly. Let's see. Gitzinger is previously directed part 6 of season 1, and it has directed. Okay, so the only really new one is the Anders person, who he directed episodes of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the live action versions directly made for the Disney Plus series, Disney Plus account and all that. So not surprised. There's how many episodes? There were like 8 episodes of Ahsoka in season 1. And so let me. It's interesting because I would definitely say, and I think a lot of people would probably agree, out of like all the Star Wars live action projects that have come out, the ones that Bryce Dallas Howard has made are really the ones that have been really good episodes. I think maybe let me see. So obviously Dave Filoni. Let me go and so Dave Filoni, obviously he did the Clone Wars, he did Rebels. So he did the first episode. So he did episodes 1 or chapters 1 and 5 of season 1 of The Mandalorian. He did 2 episodes of the Ahsoka series. He did 1 episode of Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, he had a hand in Tales of the Jedi, Bad Batch, and obviously Tales of the Empire, and probably Tales of the Underworld as well up to this point. So, chapter 1, The Mandalorian, and then chapter 5, The Gunslinger, which I think that had to do with Cobb Vanth. I believe that's the episode with that character. Obviously, a lot of people, either you like Dave Filoni or you don't like him. Talks of potentially maybe him being the next person in charge after Kathleen Kennedy, steps down and that kind of thing, which we've been hearing rumors of her doing that for years. And I think there's rumors of her potentially stepping down later this year, this fall or something like that. So who really knows up to this point? But like a lot of people don't like there's a good bit of people who don't like the Clone Wars series. I love the Clone Wars series. The Rebels is fine with me. Bad Batch I do enjoy. Book of Boba Fett, I think it's not fair to that series because they kind of like backdoor piloted season 3 of The Mandalorian within the Book of Boba Fett. And I don't think that was fair because they not only you had the backdoor for season 3 of The Mandalorian, you also had Ahsoka in it, albeit for a little bit of time, but you had Ahsoka in it. You had Luke Skywalker in it. And so it was just kind of like, what are we doing here? As far as Bryce Dallas Howard goes, she has chapter 4 of The Mandalorian Sanctuary. I don't remember what that episode was about. Chapter 11, the Heiress. That should be season 2. That was Bo-Katan, which that was actually a really fun episode. Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian. So she directed the one Yeah, like I said, that was her. She did that one. Tales of the Jedi. Oh, I didn't. Okay, the Sith Lord. Tales of the Jedi, the Sith Lord. I forgot it. I honestly forgot she had a hand in Tales of the Jedi. And in chapter 22, Guns for Hire, The Mandalorian, and then Skeleton Crew, Zero Friends Again. What was this episode about? Oh, yeah, this was probably okay. Yeah. Okay, I remember. Get out of here with this crap. Okay, I remember this episode now. I remember this episode. So what was the heck is this thing doing? So I can get it to being difficult. So that's what that episode was. Okay. And then as far as Jennifer Getzinger, she's only done one episode, part 6, Far Away. So, and that was after obviously we had the Anakin reveal and stuff like that. So that was a pretty good episode. And then that's basically about it with Anders coming in and being the only person so far listed to not have directed an episode of a Star Wars project, unless I'm missing something. I don't think he has, but unless I'm missing something, I would actually like to see Bryce Dallas Howard get full control of creating a Star Wars show. I think she's really done some good episodes. Sanctuary, I can't think of what that one was. Before them. Oh, that's right. That was Cara Dune's episode. That was like the first episode of introducing Cara Dune. And then Guns for Hire. That one, okay. Guns for Hire was basically the episode where Bo-Katan's Night Owls kind of like betrayed her and that kind of stuff to become privateers and that. And so, but I don't know. There's probably be more because I would have guessed Bryce Dallas Howard's going to do one episode. Dave Filoni, since this is his project, since Ahsoka is his creation and that stuff like that, along with George Lucas, I would expect him going to do maybe 2 episodes. Jennifer Getzinger is probably going to do 1, and then Anders is probably going to do 1. And so I guess it depends. I don't know if it's been announced how many episodes of Ahsoka has been greenlit. Confronted. All right, so at least 8 episodes. So if that's the so 8 episodes. So if that's the case, if Dave Filoni does 2, Bryce Dallas Howard does 1. So you're gonna be missing. You're gonna need 3 more directors for 3 more episodes if that's the way you're gonna go about it. Unless you let Bryce Dallas Howard have an additional episode and the other 2 have an additional episode, then you could probably do that. But I am going to be interested to see that. And so last thing I want to do is pull up, let's see, is Star Wars Meg. And she just did a recent video that has something to do with like season 2. So let me see. Where's my headphones? All right, let's take a look and listen.
Friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. So today we have a pretty jam-packed news update, and the main focus is going to be
Ahsoka. Shoot. What am I doing with my life? There we go. That's better. All right. Anyway, let's check this out real quick.
Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. So today we have a pretty jam-packed news update, and the main focus is going to be Ahsoka Season 2. I've spoken about it so much in recent videos. We talked about comments by Ivana Sakno, we looked at some new information for Balin, but today, something more concrete. And the timing couldn't have been any better, because it comes just after my Bryce Dallas Howard video. That's right, we have an update for that legend. The list of directors for season 2 has been announced.
Okay, so she's gonna basically go over the stuff I talked about. But she probably has a lot. She's probably more in depth with the Star Wars stuff than I am. So she probably has like a lot more information in regards to it than I do.
It's very good news. Some of them unsurprising, but a couple of new names as well. And I do just want to preface this by saying they've only announced 4 names. We don't know if that's the entire list, or if it's just some of them. But if it is all of them, it could be 2 episodes apiece. So 4 directors for the 8 episodes. So let's begin with the unsurprising ones. The showrunner Dave Filoni, who in the first season directed episode 1, Master and Apprentice, and episode 5, Shadow Warrior. The next director is another returning name, Jennifer Getzinger, who directed part 6, Far, Far Away, often considered one of the best episodes of the first season. So now we come on to non-returning directors. This one is a new name for this show, but definitely not a new name in the Mandoverse. This is the biggest one, Bryce Dallas Howard, everyone's favorite director on Book of Boba Fett, Mando, and Skeleton Crew. And now she can boast that she's the only director who's worked on every single post-Return of the Jedi TV show. That is quite the achievement, and I can't wait to see what she...
Yeah, like I said, I would love to see a lot more from Bryce Dallas Howard, not just with Star Wars, but I think as directing as wise, because again, some of the episodes that she has done have actually been really good, solid episodes within the Star Wars franchise.
She does in season 2. And you've heard me say this, but I don't think Bryce...
the Jack Black Lizzo episode was definitely a downer, so I'm not going to lie about that one.
Deserves the backlash she received for the Jack Black and Lizzo episode.
Oh, she did that one. Oh, okay. That's the one she did. Okay, I take it back. The majority of the stuff she's done has been relatively good. I did not really care for this episode. I thought that's the episode that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't really like all that thrilled with that episode.
Mando season 3. It was such a strange episode, which to many fans marked a steep decline in the series. But it wasn't a decision that Bryce made. She famously said in the behind the scenes, it was Jon Favreau's decision to have those guest stars, Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd. She was very excited to work with them, but also gobsmacked. I guess Ahsoka season 2 is similar, in that Dave Filoni's writing it, but I really doubt they'd pull something like this again. And the final director is Anders Engstrom. He's one of the lesser-known names on the list, and I couldn't find too much information, let alone interviews with him, but he's well-known.
I have not watched the Percy Jackson series. I've heard mixed things about it amongst people who've read the books and stuff like that, so I'm not really all that familiar in regards to it.
For his work on the Percy Jackson TV show. So some really high-caliber talent, and Ahsoka Season 2 comes out in late 2026. We're now talking about some big, official updates. And another news for the show, Imanis Fundi is here in the UK to film more Ezra scenes. Oh. He was recently seen at Wimbledon tennis, and even posted photos of himself holding a Grogu Funko. Now, this could just be because he's a big Star Wars fan in his own right, but some Ahsoka fans have been reading deeper into this. Is he alluding to a Grogu appearance in Ahsoka's second season? My reaction to this speculation is, I just don't see where there's time. Ahsoka Season 2 is going to...
Yeah, especially because like 2026... I mean, they could, because Dave Filoni, because I think at Star Wars Celebration this past April, he talked about how as soon as they finish up with, like, I want to say it was the Mandalorian Grogu, or I think it was either that, or he said as soon as he gets back from Celebration, he's full on with Ahsoka Season 2. Now, the Mandalorian Grogu is basically already done. Now, obviously, there may be some like post-production and stuff like that, but that is slated to come out, I believe, May of 2026.
Deal with Peridea, Baylan, Shin, Ahsoka and Sabine, and the New Republic back home. But then I realized Din Djarin and Grogu are now Rangers of the New Republic, and they're working with the Delphi Squadron, which includes Zeb Orrelios. And because Zeb and Ezra were part of the Ghost Crew, and Zeb has not seen Ezra in a very long time because he was stuck on Peridea, well, now that he's home, a reunion with Zeb could be in place, and that could connect us to seeing Mando and Grogu. And you guys have to remember in Star Wars Rebels that Ezra met Yoda, so I'm very curious to see how he would react to meeting Grogu. It might be similar to when Ahsoka met him. Ezra might say something like, "I've known only one other of this kind," although with Ezra's sense of humor. So maybe the Mandalorian movie coming in May 2026 has some connections to Ahsoka Season
Hmm.
2. But now I want to show
Yeah, because the season 2 of Ahsoka will come out after Mandalorian Grogu. So they probably already, if there is something like that in it, they already thought ahead and added it into the movie to be a payoff for later on in the show when season 2 comes out. And it's not only that, you like she's just like Star Wars Meg mentioned, you have Peridia, you got Sabine and Ahsoka stuck in a different galaxy. You got Ezra coming back. You got Thrawn back. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that I don't know how well you're going to be able to balance all that in an 8-episode series. But obviously, we'll have to just wait and see until we get more information about it.
you something really huge. I know it's a bit blurry, but it's the clearest photo we have of the Ahsoka Season 2
Yeah,
logo
it
from
came out.
Celebration.
That came out on Sunday, I believe, this past Sunday.
And you might be thinking, well, what's so impressive about this? It's just the Ahsoka logo from Season 1 with the words Season 2 under it. Yes, but like I said, I'll be covering every breadcrumb. This certainly got me hyped. And in addition to this, some Disney Plus users are reporting that they're seeing Season 2 coming soon under Ahsoka on the streaming platform. And if you remember a couple of days ago, Ivana Sakno said they're already a quarter of the way done. So production might be going better than planned. And it's one of the few Star Wars projects that there's a clear roadmap for. They're not beating around the bush. Dave Filoni knows where this story is going, and I'm really excited to see it unfold.
I don't know. Oh.
When it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website. And
I don't know, but I believe Hayden Christensen is also coming back. Let me see. I feel like let's see. Yeah, so Hayden Christensen will be back as Anakin Skywalker in season 2. Obviously, that has to do with more like the whole the Mortis arc from the Clone Wars series and that kind of thing. So it does make sense to have him back. In what capacity is going to be interesting to kind of figure out, because we had basically a full episode with him, and then like he appeared, I believe at the end of episode 4 when Ahsoka woke up in the world between worlds, and then episode 8 as he's kind of like watching over Ahsoka and Sabine. So I wonder how much of Anakin Skywalker are we going to see in season 2?
So we're going to be returning to Ahsoka in just a moment, but first we need to dip our toes into the rumor mill. Do you guys remember a couple of
Oh
days
yeah, that's right. There's rumors of Kenobi season 2. That's, I don't know. Let me see what she says, and then I'll give my opinion.
ago there were rumors that Kenobi Season 2 might be in the works? It was a rumor from Daniel Richman, and I told you guys don't believe it. It's probably BS. But since, there have been some rumblings which might suggest Lucasfilm is considering more with Obi-Wan, but apparently it depends on the performance of Ahsoka Season 2. The logic seems to be this. Fans loved the return of Hayden and Ewan, but the overall sentiment was that the Kenobi show was a missed opportunity to do more with those flashbacks.
Yeah, so the problem, well, here, yeah, let me let her
So
finish.
Ahsoka's
Actually,
first season gave us more Hayden, and fans went wild for that. Anakin in the world between worlds. So apparently what they want to do in season 2 of Ahsoka is to bring Ewan McGregor in as Obi-Wan as both a Force ghost, and for more Clone Wars flashbacks. And I have heard a couple of things to do with Obi-Wan connected to the Mortis gods. Maybe the logic is to bring Ewan back, to get fans excited about the character again. Maybe they're trying to get rid of the bad taste in our mouths. But those are just a few things we've heard.
so yes, so the Kenobi series was definitely not what people expected. The route that they did it was not good, and it's just, yeah. See, if they do a season 2, what, because quite honestly, with a Kenobi series, you could have just, I don't know what you could have done with the season 1. It season 1, the flashbacks were cool. I think that's what they should have done more of. I would have probably liked to seen maybe something along the lines of like how Obi-Wan met Satine, that kind of whole story arc. Because we do know they met each other when he was like a Padawan. Now, obviously, the age is, you have to probably like de-age him a little bit to get that episode 1 look. But I thought maybe we would get something like that, something not what we got in the Kenobi series. So
while we're on the subject of Ahsoka, my friends, there is one iteration of the character who we cannot forget, Ashley Eckstein, the voice of the animated Ahsoka, long before Rosario Dawson portrayed her in live action. And in a recent episode of Pod of the Rebellion, which is the Star Wars Rebels podcast, Ashley Eckstein remembers what it was like not knowing the fate of the character, and where the famous hashtag Ahsoka Lives originates. When discussing the Rebels Season 1 finale Fire Across the Galaxy, Eckstein reveals she was entrusted with the secret of Ahsoka's survival and appearance well in advance. And in case you don't remember, the reveal of Ahsoka's survival post-Clone Wars was massive, because she barely appeared in Season 6, Season 7 wasn't out yet, and the last thing fans remembered about her was her parting ways with the Jedi Order, and then her supposed death, which luckily wasn't true, in Yoda's Season 6 vision. So Star Wars fans had many questions. She knew Ahsoka would return as Fulcrum, but the weight of the secret affected the way she interacted with the fanbase. She had to drag herself away from the internet, and even skip the series premiere, choosing to distance herself because she knew her excitement might lead to spoiling it, the big reveal at the end of the season. However, an accidental tweet spilled the beans anyway. Eckstein clarified that it's she, and not Dave Filoni, who started the now famous hashtag Ahsoka Lives movement.
I didn't know anything
Inspired by the
about
Darth
that.
Vader Lives trend, Eckstein's enthusiasm got the best of her. Immediately after Ahsoka walked down the ladder of the Ghost, Eckstein impulsively tweeted, hashtag Ahsoka Lives, and that's where it comes from. Her intention was to celebrate the character's return and express her own excitement that was under wraps for far too long. However, her social media post inadvertently spoiled the reveal for many fans around the world, particularly those on the West Coast, or those who are in other time zones and hadn't seen the episode yet.
Oh yeah, that
The
definitely
reaction
sucks.
was somewhat divided. While some celebrated the confirmation, others were pretty upset that the surprise was ruined. But let's be honest, guys, who can stay mad at her? She is the embodiment of everything amazing Ahsoka Tano represents. And then, of course, the Ahsoka Lives movement continued through Season 2. It was used by viewers who wanted Ahsoka to survive her duel against Darth Vader in the Season 2 finale. The hashtag became a testament to the
That was a really good. I really liked that episode because you had like Maul, Vader, Inquisitors. It was a pretty good episode.
Character's enduring appeal and the unwavering dedication of her fanbase. And now, many years later, as we look forward to Ahsoka Season 2, I seriously believe, despite recent weak performances in some Star Wars projects, viewership is going to skyrocket. I think the fandom and the world in general needs Ahsoka at the moment. And I also like the idea that Ashley Eckstein gets some kind of cameo in the final season. I think she once expressed that she'd love to return. She's been the voice of her across Clone Wars, Rebels, Tales of the Jedi, but a live-action cameo of some kind would be amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine if we see a flashback to Ahsoka's mum. If a live-action version of that happens in Season 2, then why not give the role to Ashley? Just my suggestion.
Okay, so that's basically it. So yeah, that's basically it covering the Ahsoka news. I'm not really sure about the Obi-Wan series news and all that stuff. Obviously, we'll just have to wait until we get more information about that. But that's basically it. That's basically covers the primary Ahsoka Season 2 discussion with us getting the new directors and stuff like that. But relatively, that is it, guys. That is it for this video. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you're new, be sure you subscribe, follow, comment wherever you are watching this, whether it's on Rumble or the Nerd Talk podcast episode. Definitely, you can find me all over the place for sure. But that's, like I said, that's relatively it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.